Tensions remain high between advocacy groups, New Jersey lawmakers, and Homeland Security over Delaney Hall in Newark. Protesters clashing with law enforcement outside that facility Monday. The head of DHS now calling it a political stunt. Pix 11's Giovanni Diaz live in the studio with the very latest on this controversy. Gio, we have 300 detainees in there on a hunger and labor strike.
That's correct. And we are talking about a place that will cost about $1 billion to the government over the course of 15 years. So controversy really is part of the history of Delaney Hall. Good morning, everyone. Demonstrators have been outside Delaney Hall since the facility opened back in 2025. But it all boiled over after detainees went on a hunger strike in protest to the conditions inside the facility there. DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin reacted overnight, saying that hunger strike never happened.
This morning, a war of words between the Trump administration and elected officials in New Jersey. As protesters clashed with law enforcement outside Delaney Hall on Monday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin is now taking aim at lawmakers and Governor Mikey Sherrill, calling the ongoing demonstrations a, quote, political stunt and calling out the state's sanctuary policies.
There was a guy shooting, pepper bullets.
Demonstrations outside the massive detention center in Newark have never really stopped since it opened back in 2025. But since Friday, they got more intense after protesters learned about an alleged hunger strike among detainees who are standing up against what they call poor conditions and lack of medical care. Monday, as demonstrators tried to stop ICE vehicles from leaving the facility, things escalated.
What ICE is doing here is escalating. They're taking people out of these detention centers. They're trying to bring people to Louisiana and other places where they can easily deport them. And what just happened was protesters were trying to block cars from leaving, and they pepper sprayed us.
Protesters say one of the detainees involved in the hunger strike was being retaliated against. ICE later confirming that man was transferred to a different facility. Governor Mikey Sherrill says she tried to get into Delaney Hall, but wasn't allowed.
I've been advocating to go inside the prison for days now. I was just denied that.
Yeah, and overnight, DHS released a statement saying that officers, quote, followed their training and used the minimum amount of force necessary to protect themselves, the public, and federal property. Geo Group, the company responsible for running Delaney Hall, also released a statement denying any wrongdoing and saying that detainees do have access to medical care around the clock, Vanessa.
And because there's so much confusion, that leads to the tension because people just don't know. They don't have the answers they feel like they should. Gio, thank you so much for your